We had discussed about clear command. It's like a clear command is going to be clear your text into the text box. And we also had discussed about send keys and to send any key text into this edit box or text area anywhere. You can use the send keys method, and clicking on the buttons and links and radio button, checkbox, all these things, you can use this click operation. This method is going to be click on one mouse click, and is displayed is like, if you want to find out the particular element where it is loaded into the particular page or not, you can use this is displayed method. And also is enabled, it is again I said you right, and where you can operate or perform action on that particular element or not. For example, if it is text box, will it be able to accept the text or not? You are going to be used for is enabled method to identify, and it is not. It is going to be return true or false. If it is enabled, it will return true, or not enabled, it return false. And is selected, it's works on radio button checkbox, whether it is whether it is this particular radio button or checkbox is selected or not. If not selected, it returns false. If it is selected, it returns true. And submit button is like, it works on the form. So from here onwards, we need to be looking on a practical way. Already we have seen this send keys and clear, click, is displayed, enabled, and selected one. Okay, do we have any questions on this? And still, I'll go through this like one level of example, and then we can move on this. Okay. See here, I am having some code here. You guys can see here. CRM application. The username, I'm entering here with the send keys. Send keys is to be enter this, and everyone has practiced it and very well. And clear is going to be work on this particular element, and whatever element you have here, this send a text in this particular text box, you can use to clear that. And if you are re-entering any text, if you are entering first time as well, you need to be ensure whether it is not having any text into this particular text box or not. And before entering also, you can keep this clear command where it is going to be ensure which is not having any existed text into this particular text box. And later point, we looked into this click operation, right? And it is driver.find element by xpath or name or id or css selector or class name or link text or partial link text or any element, you can use it. And this will be the common to web element it is, and do operation on whatever operation you can provide it. So for example, link and radio button, and you can do this click operations here. Okay, so is displayed is like, it is going to be return this true or false. It works on this works on it's like, it is loaded into this page or not, and it is there into this page or not, it's visible or not. So it can be work on is displayed, and it is returned to this true or false. And if it is true, then it is loaded, and if it is false, then it is not loaded into this particular page. And is enabled again, whether it is whether it can accept this any action on that or not. But for example, radio button where you can operate it or not. In a sense, you can select or not. That's if it is able to select it, then it returns this true. If it is not able to select it, in the sense is disabled on the page, then it returns the false. The same way, text box, if you are able to enter the text, it returns a true. If you are not able to enter, in the sense it is by default, it is not hidden mode or otherwise not hidden mode. So pre-filled fields will be there. So that will be a text box, but it is pre-filled, or otherwise it fetches the values from the database while doing actions. So it will not allow to this user input. That time it returns the false, or otherwise it returns this true. Okay. So is enabled, is selected as like radio button or checkbox, whatever it is. It's like if you wanted to check it where it is selected or not, you can use this selected. So let's see, today is like we'll look into the submit and get text, get tag name, these three first, and then we'll move on others. So submit works on this forms. It's like, for example, there is a form. Inside the form there may be a multiple elements, this multiple objects, maybe a text box or buttons. So in that there will be the buttons will be there end of the submitting the form. If I'll take one example, I'll open the page. I'll show you how it works. So this is an application. I'm entering this, username and password and clicking on login button. I can do this click operation as well as I can do this submit operation as well as in this. So when I do this submit operation, it it do this same click operation. So you have seen, right, the email address or phone number you entered is does not match because it is I entered duplicate username and password, right? So here you can see, let's open this or inspect this. You guys can see here, it is not visible. It is not visible here. It is a form. It is having the form. In this form, under this form, you have your username and password. You can see once you select this or take your mouse to this form, it is this area. This area is getting highlighted. If you observe here, it is getting highlighted now here. So inside this form, whatever element you have, username and password, login button, and all. And if let's see this button how it works. This button name and type is a submit. Type is a submit. It's a when you can provide this submit operation as well. It will takes. What we do, we enter username and password as well. Click on the login button. Sometimes what we do after entering this username and password, we do this enter operation as well. So after giving this enter, what it will do, it try to log in it because it's a form, and after filling all the details, if you give this enter, it's going to be submit your form. The same way, this submit also works in a Selenium. Whatever forms you have on the forms, and that particular button should be submit kind of button, then only it works submit. Let's see here, the same way I have done is like Facebook is this and username and password and login, and I can perform a click operation as well as submit on this particular login button. Next, get text. See, if you have links, if you want to find out that particular links, or otherwise there is a page you want to get this particular page, a particular text inside that particular page, or there is a buttons you want to get this text, or you have some pop-ups and you need to be get the text of that particular pop-ups, and all the areas you can use this get text button operation. It's like it's not necessary to be working with the buttons only. It will fetch this value wherever you will give this x path. Wherever you will give this x path or property value, it fetches this value of this particular area. See, let's see. I'm inspecting on the page, and let's see. Click on this Facebook. See, it is having some text alt. but it is I don't think it is an image. I don't think it will work for us get text. So at the same time I can see this button is having some text here. I'll show you in a separate login. This is text. So if you want to fetch this value, you can fetch it. And let's see, create new account. It is a link. Create new account is a link, and it is having separate text. If you want to fetch this text, you can fetch it by using the get text. Let's see this area. It is having some text here. Then you can get this text. Okay. Let's see. Forget password. This is also a link, and it is having separate text. It is also you can fetch the text into this area. So let's get this all the values from this login button, and uh, forget password. Let's get this. Write some XPath here. So under div tag, and I'm taking the class of this particular div tag and trying to find out that particular element, and I want to get the text on that. Okay, so under this it's a link, right? I will give dot a slash a. It will find out. So I would dot find element by dot XPath is this, and dot get text is a, I want to call it. It is not giving the prompt because path is having double quotes, and I'm giving the escape single slash to escape this particular value, first value. So instead of double quotes, you need to give a single quotes there. You don't need to give an escape. So instead of that, what I'm doing it, and I'm escaping that particular letter, and then it works for us. Okay, and dot get text, I can use it. It has to give us the particular value which we are looking this forget. Okay, get text is going to be written the string type of value. So string, I'll say password, and then I want to get the text of this. We have seen this button and the link and the body we can see. If we can do this, that will be good. 3 different areas we can perform it. So h2 class is this, and I want to get this text of this. Okay, give this is a h2 tag. Do this, yes, try to get the text of this. Driver.find element. Single quotes I'll give it. And what method we have to use? We have to use. So what is the return type of get text? It is a string. You need to catch the text. Whatever get text is going to be written in it. So body of the text, I'm putting it, and string. So let's print both the variable values, password, and then body of the text. I'm executing now by right clicking on this, and as a Java application, it will open the page. Do we have any other invalid selector unable to locate element? We have this. This is, other than this, do we have anything? Did it printed any value? Let's see this, why it is not. Okay. Expect this. Why it is not. See 0 and 0. Let's give this one single quote and one escape. It is not working. Change this our XPath here. Single quotes run as Java application. It is login button, forget password, connect. Facebook helps you to connect. Okay, so I hope you guys can get this button value and everything right now. If you wanted to get the text inside the body of the page, it is inside this button or inside the link, whatever it may be, and by giving this particular XPath or locator value, a locator, you can get this text, catch in the string, and you can manipulate that string wherever, whatever you wanted to have it. Do we have any questions on this, on string text or get text? We have get tag name. So see, it is login is having a button. Login is a button. We are doing the get text. So I also wanted to know this tag name. This is also I'll do the tag. See, it is a button. Another one is a link, and another one is a h2. It's a tag name in the sense it's like page where it is I hope everyone got understand this. This is a button. It's a tag name, and this one is a link. A. This one is h2. So it is. This is the button value. Let's jump into this other methods. So guys, if you, it's a web element is a most important concept. These commands only you will operate with this elements. So you have to be practice it. Whatever I'm giving it, use your own applications or outside applications and create at least one example and send it me back. All right. We have seen get text, get tag name, and submit. Get CSS value. Let's see what is exactly it is going to do. Are you able to see this get CSS here? Yes. Argument it is asking. So I'll show you this with the source, this method, keep it aside. And I want to attach the source code and show you how it works. And get attribute, get size, get location. And up this CSS value, we'll see this get attribute which we use regularly. Get size, get location as well, we can see. See here, this is a return type is a string. So it returns this get attribute, and let's see get attribute. So we can call these properties as well as attributes of this particular element. I'll show you what is attribute and then how it works I'll tell you. So this is an input box. This is an input box, right? This input box, the tag name is a input and the property is a type. We also call a attribute type. Okay, attribute or property we can call. An attribute value or property value. Get attribute in the sense the type attribute, this value it is going to be written it. Class in the sense this is going to be written it. Let's see, we can get the attribute of this input box, a class attribute. What it is going to be written? It's written the string only. So button text, instead of button text, I can say button attribute. Meaningful variable name. I'm giving it. Okay. I'll change here. This is an attribute value. Is it the same? Let's see. It is the same, but it is also written some other areas. Let's see this class. This is name login, the class name. This is what it is identifying. Name login. Yeah, name login. It is going to this particular different element here. Different element here. This is the class 42FT4 JY0. This is what it is written right here. So it is going this one is like buttons class. It is printing it because the XPath which we have given it, the name we have given it directly login. That is why it is going to here. So if you will say input tag here, tag only, right? This is input tag. Name is email. It's a email. Name is email. If I'll give here, this name is email. It's different. So you get attribute is going to be return the attribute value. Whatever attribute you will give it, the whatever value is there inside this attribute, and it will return the particular attribute. Input text. Okay, it's like this. Let's see the same it is there or not. Inspecting it and see input 55 R161 UI. So this is going to be written the particular element attribute value. We also call a property value. So at the same time, I want to fetch the value which is entered into this text box. See, get text was returning which is inside the tag name or the some text under the tag. So if I enter here student bus, so will it be going inside this any under the tag any name? No, right? So you can see here, you may find out the value field here, and this it may goes on this value. Let's see, I'm not able to find out here. What I'll do, I'll enter some student bus here and I'll fetch this value attribute. What it will gives. Let's see. Email, right? And I'll do send keys. Okay. Then I'll get the value attribute. The value attribute need to be written this particular value. Okay. Let's see. So interview also will be people will ask like whatever text you enter into this text box, how you will fetch this particular value. See, whatever I have entered here in a text box, it return this value. If you will see, there will be a value attribute. Type, class, name, ID, data tested, and the cases. It is not showing it is. I don't know if it is storing this value. Maybe hidden or somewhere they kept into this it should not be in a visible mode. What data, user data security policy or something will be there. So that is why they are not showing here. So get attribute is going to be return whatever attributes you have inside the tag. Type, our class, our name, our ID, data tested, whatever it is there inside this particular tag name, the attribute or property, that particular value it is going to be written it by using the get attribute method. What is the return type of get attribute? It is a string. Let's see, the get size is going to be written the dimensions of the particular element. Let's see. I'll see this email only. What is the return type of this get size? Let's see. We'll give this int. Is it this thing? So this is going to be written. It looks like size is integer, but the written type is web element. Written type is web element. So how we can store this? Store into this web element. So very rare cases we use this dimension, the size, and also I have not used any time to get this. For training purpose, I am doing this. Yeah, it is not printed, right? It's not printed. I'll print this. Maybe print this, XY coordinates. See, this is the dimensions, XY coordinates it is printed. If you want to do this operation, mouse operations, and this element is not able to find out, and if you want to do this any mouse or options or actions or something, you can find by using this get size, this element. This is 364 or 52, something it is doing it. Let's see what exactly it will do and what is. So if you are getting this kind of questions or queries, how you will find out? This is most important areas, like everyone knows, and we have a documentation of the Selenium. We have a documentation of the Selenium. I usually go to this documentation of this particular Selenium, then I search it. What is exactly this doing it? So I'll open this other project to check this what is this values, XY coordinates or pixels, what it is. I have not seen that clearly, or otherwise I forgot. Anyone is used anytime? Maven project will attach this your source, and I'm checking here. And what was that? Driver. Get size. What is this width and height? It is the width and height of that particular element. It is going to be written the width and height. This is what we have written is width and height of that particular element. So we don't use, guys, it's like usually we don't use this basically we are not going to be check this particular element width and height and all into this result. So this is going to be written the width and height. Are we clear? Are we clear? See, whenever we get this question and what exactly it is going to be doing here, we make sure it's like need to be clear then and there itself. So that is what I have done. Width and height is going to be written. Instead of giving this false information, I want to give a right information to you. That is why I done this. It's going to be written the width and height. Width and height. First, it is a width. It is an height of the particular element. All right. So get location as well. Location as well. Let's see. Let's see once the sketch. Its return type is dimension. Return type is dimension. That is why we were not able to use this web element, but it is showing into as a web element. It should show this as a dimension. Get size, yeah, dimension only. I'm very sorry. It was web element inside this. It is inside the web element method and returns the dimension. We'll see this driver dot, the same element we can see. What was the other method? Get location. Get location. This also we don't use much time. Get location, it's a point. The return type is point. So let's try to put this. Let's see here in the documentation what is there. Get CSS. What is get location? Point is a return type. Where on the page is top left hand corner. It's a rendered element. It's like it is going to be give you the location. Testing. Import this. Import the OpenQA Selenium. It's a OpenQA Selenium, and then let's print this now. So point is 599, and on the location it is XY coordinates. I think it is XY coordinate. But these two methods will not use in real time. For checking of the interview or for learning purpose, we can use it. Another method is get CSS as well. We will not use into this real time. Get CSS a value, and property name it is asking into the parameter. Get the value of given CSS property. It is going to be written the CSS property for particular property value. And let's use this as well. You can see value is email. I'll give it. Property value is email, right? Name property is a name and value is a email. Let's see what it is going to be do. And what is the return type of this get CSS? It's a string. It's a string. Return type is a string. Let's see what it is going to be written it. The main focus will be in a web element. A clear send keys, click, is displayed, is enabled, is selected, submit, get text, get tag name. These three is a CSS value. Get size and get location is not we'll not use into this regular sign. And get size or get location when we are testing is very minor things. It's like on which location it has to be and what is the size it should be and all these things, and we use it, but we don't do this in an area of functional testing.